So by specialized programs, we're mostly referring to programs that combine a bachelor's degree and then a graduate degree, normally pre-professional. So very common one is an 8-year program that offers a bachelor's degree in an MD, degree in medicine. These are programs that are very long, obviously, but also highly specialized. These specialized programs have clear benefits, and that's if you found out at the age of 16 or 15 that you want to be a doctor, that you want to be a medical doctor, you want to be a physician. Well, and you have the right numbers, you have the right grades, you have the right experience, then it's a good, it might be a good investment to go for a program that has, multiple years, perhaps 4 more years than a typical degree, but that you're going to be in line to get your MD. It's going to be a lot faster than the traditional route. You might not have to take an MCAT. And so it allows the student to have an accelerated path towards graduation in the field that they have a clear calling or vocation. Usually these are difficult applications. They have multiple essays. Obviously, there are a lot of prerequisites or requirements that the program may have in terms of coursework and clear commitment to that field of study. But also they might have interviews, selective committees that evaluate the students. So it's generally a little bit more of a complex and rigorous process than a normal 4-year application to a regular bachelor's degree. So they would normally have a more rigorous and selective process for students with more steps. Depend a lot on the school. So some schools will require that students write particular essays about their vocation with a field of study, right? Which is not that common for certain programs, but here they say, why do you want to be a physician? Why do you think this specific specialized program is going to be there? Sometimes they're going to have GPA requirements that are going to be clear. So they're just going to have a more straightforward list of application requirements that will look different from other programs, and they generally are going to differ from program to program. Depending on the level of selectivity. Of course, some of these programs, the vast majority of them are very selective, but some of them are more selective than others, depending on university name, the prestige of the program and the universities, but also the selectivity of the programs themselves. Very similar to the way that you go about researching schools, the best way to do it is to have, of course, do an online search for the programs themselves. There are going to be multiple websites that show, okay, well, these are the top 10, top 20 BS plus MD programs, or whatever specialized program. That's a good way to start. Another good way, another thing that you want to do on top of that is also making sure that you are, figuring out what's the voice, the opinion of people who have done those programs. These are, commitments that are pretty long, often 7 years or more. And so if you're going to spend that long in a school, you have to do very extensive research. You have to, see the perspective of others, either by cold emailing former students or by looking at different websites like Reddit or different places where you can hear the voice of students themselves. But that's really helpful in understanding the programs. Going on YouTube and doing a deep dive in the program, in the university, and all that. You have to find the same things that you have to find in a regular application process. You need to find it's a good fit for you, that it has the right, specialization, the right professors, the right culture. It's not just the program itself, but you're also joining universities in a campus. So you also have to make sure that you're matching all those things. Sometimes it's very common for students to simply say, I'm very interested in a specialized program, and then just aim for applications that focus on that, and they think that they have to ignore all the other elements like fit and all of that, and that's not true. In fact, it's probably the opposite. It should be even more important because it's a longer time commitment for students. Generally, these are great. I mean, one of the best advantages of these programs is that they normally are going to be pre-professional. So whether it's a program that does, gets you into an accelerated path for nursing, or for becoming a dentist, or becoming a physician, or any other program, one of the greatest things is that you're going to end earlier if everything goes right. And then they normally have career placement programs as well. So generally, again, depending on the program, depending on the school, but generally these programs do very, very well when it comes to job placement. And one of the easy things is that it's not like students have to think again about, okay, where am I going to go to grad school? They end up with a graduate degree. They already have specialization. They already have they're career ready. And that's one of the great benefits of these programs. Again, it's hard to make that commitment when you're 15, 16, 17, and knowing that you for sure want to be a dentist, or a pharmacist, or a doctor. So those are difficult conversations to have. But if the student is 100% sure, there's hardly anything better when it comes to career outcomes than these programs.